Welcome back. IGN Live at Gamescom in Germany. Now we're going to take a look at Yoshi's Woolly World. Filippo from Nintendo Europe is still here. This is a new Wii U game, right? And sort of a spiritual successor to Kirby's Epic Yarn.
Yes.
In that it maintains the same art style.
It goes in the same direction of creating a platforming title that is inspired by, well, the graphical elements are inspired by wool, fabric, and also a new way to play with a very famous, very well-known character. So in Yoshi's Woolly World, for example, instead of eggs, Yoshi lays these yarn balls that you need to use to imprison other enemies, and everything is made of different types of fabric, as you can see. For example, the Shy Guy that you see now is basically a piece of string with a mask on top, so that when Yoshi eats it, you just see a button shaped like a mask just flying away off the screen.
Yeah, that's really cool.
And
always little touches like that from Nintendo.
As you can see, the game is fully playable in co-op with one other player, and well, it's another quite slow-paced platformer that is really based on finding secrets. I can also use my other Yoshi, by the way, as a yarn ball. As you can see here, I can throw him and hit enemies. And I can use yarn string in very different and new ways, let's say, because now, for example, I can create platforms. And here we see another typical element of Yoshi games, and also an element that was in Kirby's Epic Yarn. That's secrets everywhere.
Yeah.
Basically, hidden areas are really a constant of this game, and you always have to be sure that you have pulled every piece of string, every dangling button, everything that you can find. That's a little basket that will well spawn infinite yarn balls. You can store up to 6.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so you always need a ball of yarn with you.
Yeah, I mean, that's well, the beauty of co-op is that you can only use the other Yoshi as a yarn ball. But when you absolutely need a yarn ball to proceed, well, the game will find a way to give you one. But of course, even when you don't, even when they're not mandatory for the progression, they help, as you can see here, for getting secret. Like, for example, I just collected a piece of Wonder Wool, of which there are 3 in every level, and it's one of the collectibles. And now one of the typical flower that is also in other Yoshi games, which are the 2 main collectibles that you can find in each level of the game.
Got it. I'm going back a little earlier. I saw you sort of turned a platform into yarn.
Yes.
Could you not jump on it without turning it into yarn?
No, that was the crochet pins, basically needles stuck into the background.
I thought it was sharp.
And you throw a yarn ball, and then basically they sew a platform in real time that you can jump on. And here instead we can see an amazing flower popping out from the classic cloud-shaped icon with a question mark that represent something hidden that you have to, in other Yoshi games, normally throw an egg at, but here again, throw a yarn ball at.
Yeah, I like that they kind of have like that cotton ball look, you know, it's almost everything in the world is sort of derived from string and yarn and everything. I actually saw a photo with, you know, the creators. They went to like a yarn shop for one of the pieces on Nintendo, and it was, that was where they tried to get some inspiration.
Exactly, yeah, that was amazing. I really would like one of the real plush, stuffed plush toys of Yoshi that Mr. Tezuka had in that video. I became really envious very, very soon. Also, here, I don't know if you can hear the sounds, but it's amazing for me the sound that Yoshi makes, because whenever he's aiming with a yarn ball, or when he's pushing this giant ball, he makes a sound that shows his effort at aiming or at pushing. That I think it's not actually, it's me actually in my mind always when I'm aiming, going like there, you know? And it's really like he's playing a sound that's actually in my thoughts, in my brain.
It read your mind.
Is this an early level game, or an early level in the game?
Well, this is the demo, so it's again trying to. This is the first level of the demo, so it's trying to offer a bit of. Actually, sorry, this is the second level of the demo, so it's still pretty easy, pretty slow paced. But again, the point here is to collect all the secrets. That's where the real difficulty lies. I actually didn't manage to collect all the secrets in this one with my co-op partner here.
Yeah, I think there's actually been some feedback on that sometimes some of the Yoshi games, to the fans who've been with it a long time, it's a little easy. Do you know if this game gets more challenging, or is it more focused on the exploration and the secrets, or is it more aimed at a younger crowd overall?
You will see that it gets a little bit more challenging already in the third level of this demo.
Right.
It's still quite moderate. As you said, slow-paced, moderate, and yeah, it's also about the pleasure of the exploration and the discovery.
Sure. Does the gamepad play into this in any way, shape, or form?
Well, I'm not quite sure what has been disclosed yet about it. In the demo, you don't use the gamepad, but this is, demos are not very often.
Yeah, they're a small piece of what's to come for sure.
Yeah.
Always with the secrets. The game has secrets. Filippo has secrets.
Well, we never want to spoil anything for as much as we can for the fans.
For sure. Yeah, we talked about this a little bit.
Extremely important.
I joked with Filippo, we were talking earlier. It was like, well, I know that I'm going to ask something and then it's top secret, but that was the comment that you made, right? Was, well, you like to have a pace. You don't want to give everything away at the beginning. Is that sort of why Nintendo is so secretive?
Well, yeah. I mean, we have fans that really want to discover every single bit of these games by themselves. Like here in the show floor, we have fans that in the games that have cutscenes, they skip all the cutscenes. They don't want to see any of that because they say that they want to see them when the game is launched for themselves.
I can relate to that. Sometimes there's games that I just don't watch the trailers.
So we're seeing a different type of egg here.
Yeah, exactly. This is the third level, and those are tiny chicks inspired by the Half and Puffed chicks from previous Yoshi games. I'm not sure if we have a final name for them yet in this version of the game, but well, the main thing is that they play in a very different way because when you throw them, they leave a trail of cotton that quickly disappears. So you have to throw many of them in order to climb, and you can see that this entire level is based on this mechanic where you actually have to explore vertically and try to find the platforms that sometimes you cannot see at first, but you just have to try to go up and use your tiny birds to create...
It's kind of sinister if you think about it. You kill the parent and you enslave the children until you use them as you wish.
Exactly.
But it's an abstraction. They're not suffering at all. They're really happy of helping Yoshi out.
They're plush and made of soft things. It can't be sinister at all.
They're too cute.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I would say it's too cute to be sinister, right? Yeah, I love the style of it, and I'm hoping it gets challenging. Like
have you seen the Koopas that are basically a shell that has a lot of string wrapped around it that looks like a Koopa, basically.
Right.
And you can actually use that shell in that level. You can. That's an element that's more typical of previous Yoshi games. You pull the string, the shell stays on the ground, and you can eat it and throw it, just like a shell in other Yoshi games, or it behaves kind of like a shell in a Mario game, for example.
Yeah. So what's going to happen here when you pull this down?
Yeah. So there are a lot of dangling pieces of strings that I have to pull to discover secrets. In this case, I wouldn't have been able to reach this flower if I didn't use that giant yarn ball. Also, I love the fact that you have to use yarn balls to imprison the piranha plants before you can defeat them. But in this level, you do not have yarn balls because you have the chicks instead, and they do not damage the piranha plants. So that's where, again, playing co-op plays a role, because you need your co-op partner, in this case, to be more effective, and so that it's easier
That's
for you
the only way to damage the piranha plants.
Well, no, I mean, before that, there are the Koopa shells that you could use, but then you would have to store them in your mouth and conserve them until you get to the right point. So you have to be a bit more strategic about it. Whereas with a co-op partner, sometimes you can just eat him and throw him out and destroy it like that. Of course, you're very free to mess around with your co-op partner, and like in all of our co-op games, their co-op as much as you want them to be.
Sure.
Yeah, it's how to annoy your co-op player is basically what happens sometimes.
It'll be my nephews in my
Yeah,
case.
exactly.
They'll be annoying me, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Is there a release window for Yoshi's Woolly World?
Well, I'm not sure about that at the moment.
Is it 2015 game as well?
2015,
Okay.
I cannot tell you anything that's more precise than that because
Okay.
the team is still busy developing.
Right. Yeah, and you're also
game.
on Nintendo Europe, so
Yeah.
it's like release dates sometimes vary. And
Yeah, they're sometimes different, but I mean the release window is often similar.
yeah.
Yeah.
Lately, rarely different, but in general, for certain games we try to show here, we are showing like sometimes very early ones when our teams are still working on them heavily.
Filippo, thank you. The game looks great.
Thank you very much.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, more from IGN Live at Gamescom, presented by Dead Island 2.